It's just nice to have a desk inside on a rainy day. So that's where we're back. I had big plans on setting up a tarp out there, but it just wasn't the case. I was wet up to my crotch before I even got the intro filmed. So anyway, nice and warm and dry down here today, and we're carving beavers if you haven't caught on yet. Fun, simple little beavers. They're stinking cute. They kind of line up real nice with the bear and the moose and the birds. So anyway, that's what we're going to do. And yeah, 1 by 1 by 2 inch again. And yeah, before we get going, we got to thank our sponsor, Wood Carving Illustrated. Fantastic magazine, full of tips, tricks, plans, tools, you name it, stories. Real good. If you're not subscribed, I highly recommend it. They've given me a promo code, Linker, all caps, Linker, and with your subscription at woodcarvingillustrated.com, they'll give you some little extras, some little freebies, some downloads and whatnot. So check them out, and let's carve a beaver. Look at me. I'm going to try these little finger dams. I had a bag of them, got them off Amazon probably a year or so ago, or more. Cut-proof finger dams, I think they're called. But anyway, you should have your carving glove on, your knife freshly stropped, and let's carve one of these little beavers. they're really fun. Okay, and again, you know the drill. To keep you honest and on the right path, we're marking our centers on our block of wood. Remember, this is 2 inches tall. This here is basswood. And I'm using a 1 3/4 inch carving knife. But, okay, so we got that. We're going to come down 1 inch, half center of the wood, and also we're going to come up 1/4 inch on the bottom. So that's our little feet and our head. And on the back, we're going to go 1/2 inch, which is the top of the tail. See that? All right. Now, someone said the other day that I should be measuring because they need to have exact measurements. So 1/2 inch on the back is, well, is a 1/2 inch on the ruler. 1 inch is 1 inch. And a 1/4 inch is probably 1/4 inch. Yep. All right. So that's just me being cocky with my measurements. The back, this is the tail. Our tail is going to end up being round. All right. See that? Rounded at least. So we're just going to knock some angles off here, right? And thickness wise, it's only about a good 3/16, not quite a 1/4. All right. That. There you go. You can see that's the tail there. So we're going to cut that back. I'll show you. All right, easier for me to show you. So I'm going to come in on my angle. I'm not going to go past that line on the side at all. All right, I'm just going to bring that down for now. Of course, we're just roughing it in. So coming straight in, straight down. All right. Going to come across the top. Cut that one more time. All right. Take those corners off. Bring it down. That's our basic tail roughing. All right. See that? we can, well, let's stick with the tail for now. I'm going to stick my knife in on that line there. I come in on about a 45-degree angle, a little bit. I'm just going to cut that in like so. All right, see that? Just a little V cut, just so that we know that's the tail, right? All right, there's our rough tail. Bottom's going to swoop in a bit. All right. But we'll clean that up after. And we'll just round the head over. Just about to the center line. Just kind of rounding it over. But we're going to leave here very soon. Jump around the front. It's just nice to get everything roughed in. All right. We got our head, we got our feet. The feet are going to be a little bit different, and let's talk about the feet because you can see how they're separated, right? You see the space between the feet? So basically, I want the belly of my little beaver here. I want that belly to come through between the legs, okay? But we're going to start out like normal. Taking the corners off. I'm taking the corners off first, like so, because then I don't have as much to cut in the middle when I go across, right? And again, remember depth is our friend. When I get those feet set in there. But then I'm just going to come down, working both ways. We're going to get that down. Just keep moving her down. Take the angles off the center. Alright, see that? Pop that out of there. And we're going to go just a little bit farther down here. Just so that we can get the center. I want to see some fur between the feet. And that's about it. Now, somebody called me out on the last video that I had recommended working from a longer piece, right? And I still recommend that, especially for beginners, so you have something to hold on to. But they said they had trouble with the feet. Well, for the feet, you can do this on your feet, and you can worry about that after you cut it off, because it would be hard to get in there, okay? So, now, just like our little, let's grab a hobo guy here. Our hobo guy, there's so many similarities, so we want to angle that heel back a little bit. I want to get those feet a little bit proud in the front. So you can see I'm just going to leave the front corner as is, but I'm going to take a bit off that back. See that? I'm going to join right up with that tail. See that angle? Like that? Just like that. There we go. No big deal. Just tucking that tail down a bit. Alright. There you go. Feet are separated. And while we're here, I'm going to take a corner off the foot, around, come down at the same angle, and clean that up like that. See that? Down, and across. Alright. And we're going to leave those feet alone for now. Let's work on the head. Same thing. I'm going to come on the corners. Basically the center of the line. Big V cut. All right. And then across. All right. See that? Okay. And moving on, I want the head to be on a bit of an angle, right? So let's draw a straight line across here, right? So we're going up on a quarter towards the, let's call it the middle of that angle of the tail, all right? So if I call it the middle, just like so, right? And I'm just going to take the big V cut out of there too. I'm going to come down here beside the tail. Clean that up. See that? Big V cut here. And down the tail. And clean that up. Just so we have a nice inside corner there. Alright. Look at that. There we go. Alrighty. I'm going to take these corners off the face. Just like so. That's about quarter inch, like that. We're going to do the same thing on the body. Alright. You can round that a little bit too. Alright. Now, let's look at these ears, okay? The difference with a beaver is the ears are below the top of the head, or at least at the top of the head on the sides, okay? You put the ears up, you've got a bear or you've got a squirrel. The beaver has to have tiny little ears set back. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take our knife and we're going to go across here, let's say about a quarter of an inch. See that? And again, just like a 45-degree. Then I'm going to take my knife, I'm going to hold it, I'm just going to come right down. That's the center line. Remember the center line. That's why we have lines all over the place. And I'm going to come right down into that. I'm going to snap it. There's a little corner of the ear. Okay, same thing on this side. Like that. Just like so. I'm going to just clean up the top a little bit. Alright. And now you can see our ears are set back in there. So we're going to drop, if the ears are right here, okay, we're going to come forward about another 3/16, okay? Just to show you here. Our ears are here. And there's a little eye ledge here. See that? So a quarter to 3/16 to a quarter, okay? I'm just going to stick our knife in here. Meet that chip. Be very, very careful with these little guys. I'm telling you, they are very finicky, and you got to know where your knife is going at all times. See, even there just now, I slid across to that ear, although it doesn't matter because I'm cutting that off anyway. But I didn't mean to. So just take your time, wiggle, don't push, because if the wood gives away, the knife is going through your finger if your finger's in the way, so keep your fingers out of the way and don't push. Just wiggle and slice, all right? So I'm going to bring that down, just back and forth, keeping it nice and even, bringing that little eye shelf down. And we know where our center mark is at all times, so let's keep a center mark. Alright. So the little bridge of the nose should be right dead center. And then we'll just kind of clean that up a little bit. And that's ready for some eyes. But we'll wait for a little bit for that. Alright. See where we are? Very straightforward so far, but I always say watch these videos through once before you start carving, because you'll understand it a lot better when you know where we're headed all the time than just trying to work along and just winging it and not knowing why you're making the cuts you're making. All right. Okay, that head is the same size as the body, all right? So I want to slim the sides down here. Right. Same on both sides. Okay. Now I want to reset that little neckline in there, so another V cut again. We can take the corners off too while we're at it. Now we're starting to see a bit of the tail behind the head. Yeah. All right. There, we got some shoulders on our fella here. All right. Let's round that a bit here. All right. Taking the side off of here. Bring it forward. Just keep looking at our guy, going back and forth. Bring the eyes in a bit. All right. All right. Now, before we do the eyes, before we do the ears, before we do all these things, I want to put that nose in place here. Okay. So we're going to do a nose. Nice big nose. A little triangle like that. And we're just going to follow that through. All right. If you've done the bear, same idea as the bear. A lot of these animals are very similar. Now, the whole prey-predator eye thing is thrown out the window when we're doing caricatures, because a beaver would normally not have his eyes facing you, they'd be on the side. I don't have my other beaver here, but even this guy, I put his eyes forward. But they would normally be slits on the side, so we're talking caricature, so that's why we're doing the eyes in the front, okay? So, a little line there, all right? Then all we're going to do, we're going to come down, right, and up, like so, and then down again. You see that? I used to try and make these round, but you'll see very quickly, just cutting in, a little bit of an angle, really, not straight in, a little bit of angle down. Take some wood out of there, all right? Then I'm going to go back up, like so, and then down again, and take that out of there. All right. Same on this side. Take the wood out of there. See, now there's no sense. We just did straight cuts to trying to make it round, because now we can just round it. No big deal. We'll cut the nose in just a little bit, like so. All right. A little slice on the top. Side. The cut on the top here, basically that's for painting, really. Just separates the wood from the other wood, I guess. Gives you a paint line, right, to separate the color. All right. Flatten that out a bit. Always kind of rounding too, okay? There's not going to be any sharp edges. All right, there was a little V on the bottom of the nose. I want to cut in there. Come on. Always one doesn't want to come out. There we go. All right. I'm going to create a little flat area now under the mouth. I'm going to draw in these chompers. You can carve your teeth any way you like, but for some reason I prefer to angle them like I have here. Okay. So for that, now I'm just going to carve straight in and across. Straight down and across. All right. I'm going to separate the teeth with one little tinier V-cut. And now on the bottom side, I'm just going to put a little cut up there, just to give it the bottom. Maybe I should show you what I'm talking about. See how the teeth are sticking out. So now we're going to come beside the teeth. We're going to curl down so the teeth, see that side to that side? It's going to come down. All right. So the teeth are out on their own. All right. Yeah, just like that. Got lots of pencil lines on here, but okay, now I want to thin that. So see this line right here? I'm just gonna take my knife, just kind of scoop up beside that. Just want to try and thin that. Let's make him a little more beaverish. Hey, by the way, how about that intro? I spent couple 3 hours wandering around that swampy creek area looking for a beaver, and I got a muskrat. I saw lots of deer and everything back there, but what I didn't see until I was walking out, that's why that beaver at the end of that little clip was, I was shooting down because I was walking over a culvert, and I, of all things, walking to my truck, the beaver was right there, which was hilarious. But, okay, you see how our jowls are bigger than up beside our eyes on all these guys? You can see the little line across here. Maybe I should have done this earlier, but I want to put a little V cut on each side at the bottom of the ears, just to thin that a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. And then I'm going to come up in front of the ears. In front of the ears to remove that little cut. Clean that up. There. Now we got some bigger, what do you call them? Maybe you don't call them gels. What do you call them? Cheeks? Bigger cheeks? I'm just looking over. I can see these corners. There's no corners on the back of the head, so we're just going to keep rounding all these little sharp edges. All right. But yeah, that's looking like a beaver. So what do you want to do now? You want to do the eyes or you want to do the arms? Because if you do the eyes now and you make a mistake, you're not too far. But why would we do that, right? Let's do the arms. All right. So I'm going to round that whole area over. Okay. Give them a bit. See the side view? Side view. All right. Excuse me. Okay. Around this belly. A little more. A little more. In fact, I'm going to bring that whole chest up underneath the chin. You do a couple and you'll get the hang of these pretty quick. Like I said, it's funny that there's a lot of likenesses to the people and the bears and whatever. Once you get the steps in order, you can make just about anything, in a goofy way at least. All right. Okay. I'm going to come up just under the, this is the shoulder, we're going to come in just a little bit. I'm going to come down. I'm going to keep them even. We'll come across. And then we want to keep the same angle. Right? Something like that. But we're going to start at the bottom of the hands. And again, these are going to be round on the bottom. But we're going to start square, just so that we can cut them easily. All right. 2 little V cuts. Going to come down. Bit of an angle in on an angle like that, so we don't want the arms going in, we want the arms going out. You do a little stop cut under the neck here on both sides, and we should be able to just come right up on that side and come right down on that side. You don't want to do that too many times because you don't want a bunch of extra little cuts and slices. But you can see here, now I'm going to take the corner off. All right. And just clean that up a little bit. On the back side, or on the side, that line, we come in, angled out, and come up. Take the corner off again, showing her up. All right. Same thing here. Angle down, cut up, take the corner off the paw, or whatever you call it. All right, and that's our rough hands. Now, I like to now stick the tip of my knife in and just go around, and you'll see this is how you get those nice little shadows. All right, just remove these little slivers right underneath. All right. Come on. Come on. Okay. Do this side. Just following with my knife blade straight in. And just kind of undercutting that, just to remove a little sliver of wood, just to give a nice little shadow that that hand is on top of the rest of the body. All right. My brush. There we go. All right. Now, we want the paws down. We can angle them down, soften all the edges, put a couple little swoops and cuts. You just don't want it all looking square. Yeah. There we go. There we go. All right, let's go ahead and get these eyes over with. All right, we've got lots of real estate for the eyes here, okay? But I'm going to make them smaller than you might think, because I want to round that top edge, but I don't want to do it until after I've cut the eyes, okay? So I'm just going to put my knife in, down, and around. Have a good grip on these things. If you got a carving glove, make sure it's got a little rubber stickies. It's not slippery. Put a little stop cut in the bottom. Take that inside corner out. All right. A little stop cut here. Take that corner out. And then just cut the top edge a little bit. All right. Okay. Stop cut. Corner out. Stop cut. Corner out. Run my knife on the top edge. And there's our eyes. Alright. We can clean them up a little bit. Uh-oh, that's an eye breakage. A broken eye. Okay, you say that's no good. That's fine. I'm just going to bring the eye back a little bit. Alright, we'll do it again. We can fix anything. Alright. Alright, two eyes again. So like I said, it's that sharp edge on the top here. I'm going to get that as close to those eyeballs as I can, just by taking the corner off of it. See that? I'm even going to maybe even dip a little bit in the middle here with my knife, just got a little swooping cut. All right. Alright, line around the back of the ears forward. Alright. Now, for the ears, all I'm going to do, I don't even want to draw the line on here, but I will for you, is just put a little triangle on there. All I'm going to do, this is a tiny ear. I don't want to see a lot of ear hole. Half the time they're flopped over and wet. I just want to take a little chip out of there, just like that. Okay, so this one I won't draw. Just going to take my knife one way, knife this way, knife in, take that chip out. See that? There we go. It's looking like a beaver, I'd say. Let's spend some time on the tail here, and I want to round that tail over. Get all the, I always want to say factory edge, but it's not factory edge, it's a piece of wood. Get all the saw marks off, all the original. We're kind of bringing it down. Alright, see that? We're bringing it back kind of underneath. We can even go a little bit more. Alright, then I'm going to take the corners off the inside. I want to get more shoulder in here again. See that? That's it, that's good. Coming down. A little bit more shoulder. The more shoulder we get, the more we can see our tail behind the body. That's important. All right, see, It's just 1 by 1 inch. It's hard to, it would be nice if he was have the tail come out or whatever, but we're not doing that. We're keeping it all in-house on our piece of wood here, so. Round that over. If you see a sharp edge, just round it over. That's all we're doing. I'm going to go right on the bottom. Kind of want it to come down. See that? I'm just going to put a little V cut here. It kind of ends the feet and shows more of the tail. All right. Just a little V cut. Same thing here, if we want to put our knife down again, even take another sliver. The more slivers we get, is the more shadows. Shadows are your friend, right? See that? It does make a difference. See that? And again, it really helps with that paint edge too, when you transition the colors. Just tiny little whiskers out of there. Alright. Now, we're doing okay. Alright. I put some claws on some, and some, where's my guy? Like this guy doesn't have them. I don't know that it really matters if you need to put the claws on or not. If you put some little paint highlights on the ends, I don't think that adds anything. But you can if you want. Just remember, these feet, technically, they're kind of a webbed foot. They're not really claws, so I kind of like this idea better. So you can see I just put some extra little black on the feet and on the ends of the things so you don't have to make those little cuts in there. But we do need to separate the legs. Now you can see, like I was saying about the belly, goes right through to the bottom. And the side just comes across. All right, so what does that look like here? We're just going to kind of come, say mid paw. All right. And then kind of like a rabbit on the side. All right. So this is how we're going to finish up our feet. So I'm going to stick my knife in there. I'm going to come right down and around both sides. All right. And again, we're going to come down with our knife and pop that out. This way. Come down. Pop it out. Alright. It's a little miserable with down the bottom here, but you can do it. Right. Round that. Okay. Put a little angle to the foot. Right. Let's shorten these feet up a little bit. I'm going to angle them that way, so they're kind of sticking out. Right. And then round them. Around the corners. Now, on the side here, before we cut that, let's extend that foot. By the way, don't get frustrated if this is your first time. You'll get it. I probably made 5 of these before I even made it to this design. I just threw them out because it's 1 by 1 by 2, which means it's just a few pennies for wood. Okay. Okay. Just separating that little hind quarter there. Okay. And again, anytime we have something like that, what can we do here? Well, we'll do a little 3-corner chip and make another shadow in there. See that? Take our knife, run it around. These are all V cuts, right? All 45 degree-ish. 45 degree-ish. All right. There. Again, with that. 1, 2, and then pop that corner out of there. We got a nice little deep shadow. All right. But lots of cleanup on this guy to do. We can take a little chip out of here too, under the hand. This side here. Creating shadows. All right. No square edges. A little swoop here, a little cut here. Get rid of all the outside wood. All right. Look at that little beaver. Then, I'm breaking some laws here now, okay? That tail detail, okay? Realistically, that is not how a beaver is. That would be on the inside, that little pattern, okay? But we have to take some artistic license because it just says beaver, right? Inside, outside, whatever. Just make a little grid there and just make some V cuts. You can, if you're not making a video like me, you can do twice as many of these if you want and make it a lot busier, right? Oh, by the way, also, of course, if you have a V-tool, by all means, use your V-tool. Just trying to keep this a knife project, but obviously a V-tool would make pretty quick work of this. Right. There you go. And if you want to get carried away, you can bring them around to the edges. All right. As he gets carried away. Alright. You get the point, right? Just bring it to the outer edge of the tail. Top. Alright. That's pretty much our beaver. So give me 1 minute. I'm going to take my knife and I'm going to go around here and I'm going to get all the fuzzies, get all the pencil lines and everything cleaned up. And then we'll talk about how we're going to finish him. Alright? So, back in a flash. Put some water on this fella just to show the highlights. But yeah, I couldn't make you watch me trimming little fuzzies or whatever. But right now, that fella's ready to paint. Alright? So, hey, cute little beaver. Okay. So anyway, all I did was I gave the carving a little coat of this nature oil. Right? I got that at Home Hardware, but you know, people use linseed oil, different kinds of oils, mineral oils, whatever. That just makes the paint flow even, a little more even. But I let that dry, or for an hour at least anyway. Then I'll take a brown of some sort. This one's got a little bit red, but it doesn't scream beaver, but I kind of like having some different colors. And light wood to dark wood takes color differently as well. But anyway, so I'll put the oil on there, and then I'll take that brown color, and I'll just paint the whole thing, because these tiny carvings are hard to paint, you know. So just coat the whole thing with a light wash. And when I say light wash, I mean a light wash. Like, that is the color, and that's what we ended up with, okay? So that's a light wash. And then after that, then I'll paint the eyes solid white, put some black dots on them, right? Teeth are always going to be like an off-white, ivory, cream even. Truth of the matter is, beaver teeth are ugly, yellowy orange, and they'd be disgusting. So they're not as cute with orange, gross teeth. So we paint them off-white to be nice to them, okay? Tail black, nose black, right? But then I take that black, and again, a very light wash, and then after I coat the brown, that's how I get all these little highlights. It's just with a black wash, and I'll just run the paintbrush right in between the legs, you know, under around the neck. I'll even go over the white eyes, because it's that light of a wash, and then just kind of keep doubling up on that just till you can see a little bit better, okay? But watch my painting the fairy door video, and you get an idea of what I'm talking about. But that is that's about it. And then of course I'll just take this stuff here. When it's all dry, Howard's Feed and Wax. I'll put that on there, let it dry overnight, buff it off, and done, just like that. So there you go. There's our little beaver. I love this little beaver. He's cute, and now, like I said, he's gonna fit in well with the bear and the moose and the guys. All right, so there you go. Okay, there's our little beaver. Now, my turn to ask you guys, do you want me to go back and revisit some of those dowel carving videos and redo them to the 1x1 series? Like we got the owl and we got a bear. Well, the bear, we can do the bear, resize them and remake videos. I like even the cardinals and mushrooms and you know, should I go back for this 1x1 series and basically redo all the videos and make this series bigger with the 1x1 by redoing some of the older videos on the dowel? Let me know in the comments if that interests you. But in the meantime, I'm so happy I finally did a beaver. I did the Carve a couple videos back, remember? And everybody said, make a beaver, make a beaver. So there's your beaver. And yeah, I'm having fun with this 1x1 series. I don't know if I'm going to be able to stop. But anyway, big thanks to Wood Carving Illustrated. Like I said before, check them out. Link will be in the description. But yeah, check out woodcarvingillustrated.com and use promo code LINKER for your little extra goodies, all caps. And that's a wrap, and I will be back with another 1x1 series sooner than later, hopefully. And yeah, let me know about the dowel stuff or other videos that you want me to shrink down to the 1x1, and let's make it happen. Let's make this thing grow. Share these videos, get people carving. Wear your glove. I can't stress that enough with these little carvings. I'm afraid that they're easy, but they're difficult to hang on to if you don't use a full stick. Your hand, be very careful. Keep your knife in the wood. See you next time. I'm out.